Hello and welcome students once again in this operational amplifier video series. This is the third video in which we will be discussing linear applications and nonlinear applications of operational amplifier. Let us discuss linear and nonlinear applications. In case of linear applications, non-inverting operational amplifier, inverting operational amplifier, inverter, adder, subtractor, buffer, these are linear applications. As shown in this circuit diagram, this one is non-inverting operational amplifier. As shown in this above figure, input voltage Vi is applied to non-inverting input terminal where its inverting input terminal is connected to the ground potential. Whether the circuit is inverting configuration or non-inverting configuration, it depends according to the input voltage. So here input Vi is applied to non-inverting terminal. Non-inverting terminal is connected with the help of resistor Ri to the ground potential. To get a stable output voltage, feedback path is closed in between pin number 6 and pin number 2 with the help of resistor Rf. So the current starts flowing through the circuit. II will be the input current and If will be the output current. With the help of current or with the help of voltage, we can solve the equation, and based on that the output voltage is Vi, that is input, in bracket 1 plus Rf upon Ri. So this is nothing but the gain of the circuit. So gain of the circuit is what? Av equal to 1 plus Rf upon Ri. It shows that the output voltage is in phase with the input, and the closed loop gain depends on input resistor Ri as well as feedback resistor. It is independent of open loop gain and other parameters of operational amplifier. Now let us see inverting operational amplifier. The difference in between inverting and non-inverting op-amp is depending on the input voltage as mentioned earlier. So here the input voltage is applied to inverting input terminal, non-inverting is connected directly to the ground potential. Concept of virtual ground is found in case of inverting operational amplifier. So here this point is known as virtual ground point. Virtual ground concept we can discuss later on. So here the output voltage is equal to input voltage multiplied by Rf upon Ri, and minus sign is the indication that it is 180 degree out of phase. Now in this circuit diagram, inverter circuit diagram, if the value of Rf and Ri both are equal, then Rf upon Ri, this term comes as 1. So Vo is equal to minus of Vi. Whatever we are applying the input voltage exactly 180 degree out of phase, we will be getting that. For example, if 1 volt is the input voltage, the output voltage will be minus 1 volt. That will be observed. Virtual ground concept is observed in case of inverting operational amplifier. The current through feedback resistor is observed to the inverting input terminal. So ideally in inverting operational amplifier, as ideally the open loop gain is infinite. So the voltage between two input terminals will be equal to 0. So that will be equal to minus Vo upon A. A is nothing but a gain. As the gain is infinite, therefore this voltage is nearly equal to 0. So as the input impedance is ideally infinite, the current into the operational amplifier is 0. So in all total, the virtual ground is any point in the circuit that has 0 voltage and which draws no current. Ordinary ground has 0 voltage, but It can sink infinite current, and the virtual ground has 0 voltage and 0 current. That is the difference in between virtual ground and practical ground. The next application is buffer. Buffer is again nothing but non-inverting configuration. Input voltage is applied to non-inverting terminal, and if you observe, without any feedback resistor, the path is closed in between output and input, pin number 6 and pin number 2. These two terminals are shorted together. So as we know, gain of non-inverting operational amplifier is what? 1 plus Rf upon Ri. Here resistor Rf is not connected. It is not connected. So it is 0. So 0 upon Ri. So Vo is nearly equal to Vi. Whatever we are applying, we will be getting the same result. Output is in phase with the input signal. So this circuit can be used for getting high input impedance and very low output impedance. What is the use of this stage then? It is useful for isolation purpose. Therefore, this voltage follower circuit is also known as buffer circuit. The next one is adder, that is also known as inverting summing amplifier. Why it is known as inverting summing amplifier? Because the input voltages, we can apply input voltages to inverting input terminal. We are adding at the output side those voltages applied to the inverting terminal. So inverting summing amplifier. Now here as shown in this circuit diagram, V1, V2, V3, these are three voltage levels which are applied with the help of resistor R1, R2, R3 to inverting input terminal. Non-inverting is connected to the ground potential. To get stable output voltage, feedback path is closed with the help of resistor Rf. Here the output observed is minus Rf in bracket V1 upon R1 plus V2 upon R2 plus V3 upon R3 if three resistors values are different. If in case we are using R1 is equal to R2 equal to R3, then that comes as Rf upon Ri in bracket V1 plus V2 plus V3, and minus sign is the indication that it is inverting amplifier. If Rf and Ri, that means we are using all four resistors are of same values, then in that case the final expression will be Vo is equal to minus V minus in bracket V1 plus V2 plus V3. That is the final expression. Subtractor. Now in case of subtractor, if we want to subtract any two voltage levels, then that can be used with the help of subtractor circuit. V1 is applied to minus, that is inverting terminal. V2 is applied to positive, that is non-inverting input terminal. Now as shown in this diagram, R1, R2 resistors are connected and current starts flowing through the circuit once the input voltage is applied to the circuit. Okay, so here we can say that I1 current is equal to what? V1 minus the voltage, that is the voltage observed at this point, divided by the resistor. I2 is the current flowing through resistor R2. So these are the expressions with the help of which we can find out the current flowing through the circuit. Okay, same way I3, I4. Now as we know that current flowing through the resistor R1 is same as R2 and current flowing through resistor R3 is same as R4. So just equate those expressions which we have got for current. We can observe, we can get the result up to this point, that is output voltage is equal to the difference in between two input levels. Okay, It can be AC, it can be DC. As we know that op-amp can amplify AC as well as DC voltages. Now here comes non-linear applications. Non-linear applications: integrator, differentiator, comparator and Schmitt trigger. What is the difference in between linear and non-linear applications? In case of linear and linear applications, whatever, whether it is AC input or DC input, we will observe the output signals nature same as the input thing. But here if you observe, we can say that there are other than those signals we can get, that is triangular waveform, sawtooth waveform, ramp type of, so any different type of thing. So first non-linear application is integrator. Now here just keenly observe, we have replaced the resistor which is there in case of inverting configuration with capacitor. So here the capacitor is connected in between pin number 6 and pin number 2, that is feedback capacitor. So here we can say that the voltage across capacitor is the charge Q divided by the capacitance. We want integration, we want the continuous action that can be generated with the help of current. So Q is equal to integration of I with respect to T. So we can observe the capacitor voltage by putting the value. Now here this one is inverting configuration. So we can get the expression, the last expression, that is VO equal to minus 1 upon RC integral of VI with respect to T. But what in case if R is equal to 1 mega ohm and C is equal to 1 microfarad? Then this one is called as real time integral. VO is equal to minus integral VI with respect to time. In case of differentiator circuit, replace the input resistor with capacitor and keep feedback resistor as it is. With the help of charging of the capacitor, we can observe here the current flowing through the circuit. VI is equal to Q divided by C, that is a charge stored with respect to the capacitance. I is the current flowing through the capacitor. So that I1 is equal to derivative of Q. With the help of this, we can observe I2 and we can equate both current I1 and I2. And with the help of which we can say that the output voltage is equal to minus RC derivative of VI. Same way, that is a real time integral. The same way also we can find out VO is equal to minus derivative of VI. Now the next one is comparator. In case of comparator circuit, there are two different types of comparators. One is known as a zero reference comparator and another one is known as a non-zero reference comparator. According to the inverting and non-inverting configuration, there are subtypes, that is zero reference inverting comparator, zero reference non-inverting comparator, non-zero reference inverting comparator and non-zero reference non-inverting comparator. In case of comparator, the output voltage is equal to the saturation level. There is no feedback observed in between output and input. So output voltage saturates either plus saturation level or to minus saturation level. So in case of comparator circuit, that is also known as sine to square wave generator. So if you observe here in this case, that is a sine wave, positive half cycle and negative half cycle. We are getting the only two things, that is plus saturation and minus saturation. So depending on the reference voltage that can be generated. Schmitt trigger application, it is again a type of regenerative comparator where the feedback path is closed with the help of resistor R1. Okay. So here this one is nothing but a transfer characteristics, or it is also known as a hysteresis curve, where we can observe two different points, that is known as upper trip point and lower trip point. The value of upper trip point is nothing but positively saturated and beta times. Lower trip point's value is negatively saturated beta times. Beta is nothing but a feedback factor, where it is R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So the difference in between these 2 points, upper trip point and lower trip point, it is known as hysteresis voltage. These are few questions. So just go through the question bank and that will help you to study more on this thing. Thank you.